Extremely intelligent, dangerous, and clever. Worse than 10,000 men. Wow. Okay, let's dive right into this explainer with that incredibly chilling warning straight from an October 1941 FBI memorandum. We are talking about a suspected spy whose incredible infiltration of London society in the 1930s doesn't just read like a cinematic espionage thriller. It literally wrote the playbook for modern covert influence.
Today, we're unpacking the extraordinary true story of the Nazi princess, Stephanie von Hohenlohe's London espionage. We're going to see exactly how one person seamlessly weaponized the British elite against itself, acting as a highly effective agent of influence for Nazi Germany, right under the noses of the world's most powerful people.
Section 1. The setup. Establishing the threat. So, to run a high-level infiltration, you absolutely need the right staging ground. Operating under the aristocratic title of a princess, Stephanie moved to London in 1932 and checked straight into the incredibly exclusive Dorchester Hotel in Mayfair. I mean, just by establishing her base of operations there, she instantly created this untouchable, glamorous cover. The Dorchester wasn't just a place to sleep, it was the absolute nexus of wealth and power. By planting her flag there, she integrated perfectly into the exact elite environment she intended to manipulate. And what's really wild is the shocking speed of her ascent. She arrives in 1932, right? Well, by 1933, the moment the Nazi Party takes power in Germany, the hierarchy there already recognizes her sophisticated British network as an invaluable asset. This was a massive, rapid deployment. And as we'll see, by 1938, she's actually awarded the Golden Party badge for her services. But how exactly did she build that network so incredibly fast?
Section 2. Breaching the outer defenses, social infiltration.
To get backdoor access to political power, she didn't just walk up to the politicians. That would trigger all sorts of security alarms. Instead, she systematically targeted their spouses. She cultivated an intimate friendship with Margot Asquith, the widow of former Prime Minister H.H. Asquith. She socialized heavily with Lady Ethel Snowdon and networked relentlessly with Lady Londonderry. It was brilliant. By working this social flank, she completely bypassed direct political scrutiny. And the result? Her ability to operate flawlessly within these circles earned her the direct admiration of top Nazi officials. We're talking Hitler himself, Heinrich Himmler, and Joachim von Ribbentrop.
Section 3. The Big Mark. Manipulating the media baron.
Every great spy story has the big mark. And when her infiltration operation hit the absolute jackpot, it was with Harold Sidney Harmsworth, the first Viscount Rothermere. Rothermere wasn't just anyone. He was a massively powerful newspaper tycoon who owned both the Daily Mail and the Daily Mirror. But crucially for Stephanie, he was an early admirer of Hitler and actively advocated for a British alliance with Germany. This pre-existing political leaning made him highly vulnerable, and she expertly fostered a relationship with him. Rothermere was so completely taken in by her that he paid her a massive annual retainer of £5,000. In the 1930s, that was an absolute fortune. We are talking the equivalent of about £200,000 today, every single year. In exchange for this, she was expected to promote Germany, develop pro-German support among her elite British contacts, and introduce Rothermere to the Nazi inner circle. She literally got her target to fund her spy operation against him. But the story gets even darker and more calculated. As MI6 would later circulate in a report, the French Secret Service managed to intercept documents found in her Paris flat. These documents revealed that she wasn't just some opportunistic socialite grifting a billionaire. No, she was operating under highly orchestrated, written foreign intelligence directives. Her handlers gave her extremely explicit orders. She was commanded to persuade Lord Rothermere to use his massive media empire to campaign for the return of territory that was ceded to Poland after the First World War. Basically, she was actively tasked with directing British political sentiment to favor a foreign power's expansionist goals and using Britain's own newspapers to do it. And the incentive for pulling off this media manipulation? A staggering promised reward of £300,000. To put that into perspective today, that is a £13 million bounty. The stakes were simply astronomical, and it really highlights just how critical her handlers considered her access to Rothermere to be. Section 4. The inside job, steering British foreign policy. Her strategy relied on this terrifying domino effect. Step 1. Secure the social network. Step 2. Push the media empire. Step 3. Direct political maneuver. By 1937, she successfully arranged for Lord Halifax, a very senior British politician, to travel to Germany for a face-to-face meeting with high-ranking Nazi official Hermann Goering. She was no longer just a socialite. She had leveled up into a back-channel diplomat actively appeasing Nazi Germany.
And just consider this incredibly stark contrast. The target was Walter Runciman, the author of the controversial Runciman Report, which notoriously advocated for handing the Sudetenland over to Germany. The trap? She hosted him for several delightful days at Leopoldskron Castle in Salzburg. But this wasn't just some lavish getaway. This castle was property confiscated from Austrian Jews, and Stephanie was reportedly tasked by Goering himself to develop it as a guesthouse for prominent figures. The high society glamour she projected was built directly on top of the regime's darkest realities.
Section 5. The Reveal. Intelligence Unmasking.
As the threat of war loomed larger, the global intelligence community finally started to piece together the true scale of her undercover operation. Her highly focused spy career just became too big to ignore. The British, French, and American governments all heavily suspected her of German espionage. In 1938, the Nazi regime made a very public statement of her value by awarding her that Golden Party badge. Interestingly, as war approached and Lord Rothermere finally began pushing for British rearmament, their relationship completely fell apart. And in a bizarre twist of sheer audacity, she actually sued him, claiming he had promised her that £5,000 annual retainer for life. She lost, obviously, but it shows the brazenness of her operation.
To understand the true peak of her power, we just need to look at a 1938 MI6 report. British intelligence noted that she was frequently summoned by Hitler, who deeply appreciated her intelligence and advice. They literally wrote, "She is perhaps the only woman who can exercise any influence on him." Her infiltration had reached the absolute highest levels of power on both sides of the impending conflict.
Which leaves us with a truly chilling final thought for this explainer. We've traced how Stephanie von Hohenlohe used high society glamour, media manipulation, and interpersonal charm to compromise a global superpower from the inside out. It forces us to ask if a single socialite could rewrite foreign policy in the 1930s simply by booking a room at the right hotel and befriending the right spouses. How vulnerable are today's elites to the exact same mechanics of infiltration? It is definitely a question worth keeping in mind next time you see who is mixing with whom at the highest levels of power. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.